Hey, what's up? This is Garret from the Color Morale, and you're watching Rock Forever Magazine.
Hey guys, it's Tori from Rock Forever Magazine, and I am here right now with Garret from the Color Morale.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good. Doing good.
And you guys are currently on your headlining tour. We're here in Orlando. How's it been going so far?
Humid.
Yeah.
It's been good. It's been a blast. It's our first, U.S. headlining tour. Been a blast. Out with a bunch of friends of ours, Slaves, Vanna, Live Like Me, and then local bands every night.
Cool.
We purposely did 4 bands on this tour to have an opening spot for local every night. So, yeah, meeting even more new people and reconnecting to old friends. So it's been a blast.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a long time coming for a headlining tour because you guys have been going for a really long time as a band. So what is it like now for you to not be supporting and kind of have the spotlight on you?
It's nice. It's we kind of do things unorthodox. We're playing an acoustic song at the end of our set every night, like we did in parking lots and out front of venues for the last, 2 years. So it's great getting to play an hour-long set. Playing, more than 6 or 7 songs is awesome. Playing some older stuff and a lot of the newer material from the new records. It's still, I have that recurring epiphany of this is our headlining tour. And it's a cool feeling to have.
And speaking of the new music, your album Hold On, Pain Ends is out now. And I feel like No Hope was just such a huge album for you guys, and it really was a fan favorite. So now, having this being the follow-up, what did you guys do differently to make it bigger and better than the last?
I think we're kind of known for changing our sound and throwing a lot of curveballs record to record. So with No Hope, it was a very organic record, very very raw and extremely emotional, and delivered a lot of positive messages and influences. And for me personally, I made it a personal goal for myself to do our merch for that entire record cycle, and it's one of the most demanding things I've ever done in my time in a band. Literally playing to 1,200 cap A-market sold-out shows and selling your own merch, and literally as a vocalist especially, it's very demanding. But in doing so, I made myself very accessible, and the things that kids came to me with in abundance, not even just kids, just impressionable people, gave me a lot of the foundation as to what I wanted to write Hold On, Pain Ends about, and that was I felt like No Hope was a personal record, and Hold On, Pain Ends is a record for everyone, based on what they came to me with.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, a lot of serious subject matter on that record. Things like self-harm and suicide awareness, and mental illnesses, and a lot of vulnerability that people came to me with. So I wrote about it.
Yeah, and you were talking about how you were selling merch on those tours, and as you're saying, touring is a very demanding lifestyle. So how do you balance your time to make sure you are taking care of yourself? Because if you can't take care of yourself, how are you supposed to help other people? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Our band does this, for the people that support it. It's I've been sick pretty much this entire tour, but I feel like when you're talking to as many people, and I share my microphone a lot, so I'm just kind of always sick. So you can't really use the I'm sick crutch as a singer anymore, to a certain point. So, man, I don't drink a ton of water, go to sleep when you can, emergency.
That's
about the only thing that I found that works. Yeah.
And going back to the album here, the title track is an acoustic song, a beautiful song, by the way. And I know in previous interviews you mentioned going in more of an acoustic direction, working on that kind of stuff. So is there anything in the works right now that you can tell us about?
Yeah, we get asked that about every day at our VIP packages. Someone asks that every day, like, why don't you guys do an acoustic EP, or why don't you guys do an acoustic album? And that's something we're already talking about. It's kind of cool adding that dynamic to the band. We just started doing it when we toured on No Hope. I was just like, I want to go play outside, just raw, just one guitar and one vocal, and just play real organically.
Yeah.
After a show, just give kids even more, more bang for their buck. Something that I've always wanted to see bands do, and that cliche, be the change you want to see. So that's kind of what it was. Like, let's do acoustic sets afterwards for nothing. Just go out and do it in the parking lot. And man, like, when we first started doing that, it would literally be an entire show turning around and going outside.
That's crazy.
Like, wow, this is pretty huge. And it was just, they were very, very raw, very emotional. And, it was like, we need to start touching on this dynamic of the band more, because it's just really, people enjoy it. It's, if you're doing this for them, that's what they want to hear, then that's what you need to do.
Yeah, definitely. And as you previously mentioned, the lyrics on Hold On Pain Ends definitely discuss a lot of really emotionally heavy topics. And I know the ultimate goal for you guys is to help your fans overcome these struggles. But what motivates you to spread this message of hope?
For me, there isn't a day that goes by that someone doesn't contact me via social network or in person, explaining the positive impact our music has on them. I think I have a genuine connection and empathetic connection to that, because I needed that when I was young, and I never had it from anyone. So for me, knowing that people look up to me or expect something to that degree, for me, like, I'm not anybody special, like, there's, regardless of what they may think, there's no rock stars in this genre. So I just want to be honest and connect on that level, on the same playing field, about all my strengths and weaknesses and mistakes and vulnerabilities. So it gives you a really strong sense of resolution as to why you've gone through the things you have in life, when other people can connect and benefit from it.
And you are really so committed to helping your fans and talking to them. And what's interesting is the fact that you do have a huge fan base, and so you haven't met a lot of them before, but somehow you're able to have such a genuine connection and really care. So how are you able to do that despite having not met a lot of your fans before?
Social networking helps a lot. There are quite a few, messages that I see of people that haven't seen us live, or they want to meet you so bad. And, it's cool, like there's been a bunch of dates on this tour where somebody has FaceTimed someone that hasn't seen us before,
Cool.
During a show, and I've seen it and taken their phone and like saying it, and you see them like, oh my gosh, it's kind of cool, like seeing the expression in their face. Another really cool part of social networking and the advantages that it's had with our band is seeing kids from all over the country connect and develop friendships. And there's been twice on this tour where someone has flown to somebody and they have become friends because of our band on via Twitter, via Facebook, whatever, and they met the first time, in our VIP package.
Crazy.
That's pretty cool, like knowing that you're literally bringing two people together that could be a lifelong friendship that happened from your band. It's pretty amazing.
It's sounding like the Color Morale is becoming more than just a band, but it's really becoming a community, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what we've always strived to make with this band is, the touring world is very, very fast paced and can be very distracted. But I try to put 110% of myself, and our band does as well, into what we can do in a 24-hour time span. Literally, I'm in my bunk on social networks for 2 hours when I get in the bus, catching up. And it's gotten to the point to where Steve does the bands for the most part, and I do mine for the most part, just because it's so much to keep up with. And we've gotten those like, hey, do you guys want somebody to help with your social networks, like from management or from and it's like, no, just can't do that. Like, if I missed one tattoo photo that somebody sent, or if I missed one, really impactful, experience that I had with someone, I wouldn't want to not see that. I would want to see that. So, those are literally, sometimes when I'm having the worst day, I can get on, or I think that I had the worst show, I can get on Instagram and see how it just dramatically affected somebody the right way. it's like, cool, man. That's uplifting for me, so.
Absolutely. And meeting fans at all the shows, I know you're doing the VIP package, so you're really getting up close and personal with them. So they do share a lot of stories. What has been the most life-changing or most memorable fan experience that you've encountered?
Man,
there's a lot to choose from.
Those happen daily. I actually was asked this question today in our Q&A. And the first one I thought of was the Colorado date of Warped Tour. There was a young man in a wheelchair that was crowd surfed up and over the barricade. And as he, approached the stage, everyone just joined in and helped crowd surf him over the barricade. And then all the security. We were kind of known on Warped Tour for starting our set with 4 security guards and ending with 15. So, a lot of crowd surfing and a lot of, participation from the audience.
You're doing it right, though.
Yeah. So it was cool seeing all these people help this kid who's incapable of walking crowd surf over a barricade.
Incredible.
And, I met him after the set, and it was just seeing a look in his face was like, man, that was one of the most intense experiences, not even just in the band, but I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
I actually put it on a flag and a T-shirt.
Wow.
That we have, on this tour. So
that's
pretty cool experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, a lot of fans do have their own perception of the band, pretty much based off of how you portray yourselves on stage, on social media, and all that kind of stuff. But we really don't get to know you outside of that.
Yeah.
So, what is your life like when you're just not in the spotlight and doing your own thing?
I mean, we're just a bunch of idiots that how we are in front of people is just how we are. There's no alternative lifestyle that happens behind the scenes. None of us are huge partiers. None of us are perfect. None of us have a title to hold up to. We're just dudes being dudes, idiots.
I like that.
So yeah, it's there's no subgenre with our band. They watch a lot of football and hockey, and I drink a lot of Surge and Starbucks.
I saw somebody just brought you 2 packs of Surge. Is that right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, really. That's one of my favorite parts of this is all the gifts that I get, and not that kind of stuff. I mean, just handmade gifts. Mm-hmm. I don't currently really reside anywhere, but eventually I want to have a room that's just dedicated to artwork and just a place I can go sit and just read or just be encompassed in all this cool stuff I've been given throughout the years. I save every single item I've ever been given.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, there was that night actually there was a girl who made an anchor out of a piece of wood, and then just being in the VIP line, meeting everyone, there was 25 people or something, and she had them all sign it, and then gave it to me as a gift. How cool is that?
So awesome, and a lot of thought put into that too.
And it's just the essence of everything I've wanted to create with our band. It's pretty cool.
And it's really comforting to hear that you guys are just as normal as we think you are, because there are some bands where they are just completely different as soon as they get off stage. So good to know for all the fans.
Yeah, we're idiots on stage and off stage.
And what do you think is the biggest misconception about the Color Morale that you'd like to clear up right now?
Man, I've heard a lot of stuff lately, not so much about our band, about just, I've heard the word hopecore, to where there's almost been an underlying mocking humor, and I get it, the whole posy hopecore thing. A lot of bands started doing it. For us, the word hope has been a word that's resonated with me since I was a kid, and it's just been kind of something to always strive towards, towards making things better day to day for yourself, or essentially learning how to do so in this band and broadening your platform. So for me, if there's going to be a gimmick behind something, and this is the entertainment industry, there's going to be gimmicks behind things, but with us, we were honest about where we were. No Hope was written, I quit the band with that studio experience. not sure how I was going to get back to the studio and finish the record, let alone continue touring, or being in the band in general.
Yeah.
So, I wrote that at a really detrimental and urgent time in my life, and that's what people connected to. So, if that's nothing new for us, I've been trying to talk about positive things for 10 years in a band. So, whatever people's perception of what the newest gimmick or trend is, if it's going to be something positive and great, I'd rather it be that than who's got the next cool hairdo or who's got the next cool electronic breakdown.
True.
I don't know.
I really do appreciate, though, that you guys are in it for the right reasons. And it seems like there are some bands that, like you're saying, have jumped on this trend of hopecore, as you're saying. So what are your thoughts on those kind of bands that maybe are just doing it while the attention is high for you guys?
Yeah, I try to get less invested in what other people are doing and more concerned about what I'm doing authentically. And at the same time, I see a lot of bands that catch flack for what they do, and I think if they're being an artist and representing and expressing themselves creatively, then, that's what being an artist is.
True, yeah.
I've seen, just the other day, a kid brought up in conversation, making fun of Motionless in White for wearing makeup. And it's like, dude, number one, of all the things you could complain about right now that are happening in the world, a band wearing makeup is... Really? Is that all you could complain about right now in your entire life? If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
It's true.
Personally, I love special effects, and I wanted to be a horror makeup artist when I was in middle school. So, you know what? That's an artist representing themselves. Yeah. So, expressing themselves. So, if you don't like it, then look away or turn the sound off. Yeah. It's a band.
Exactly.
But to complain about it on the internet or to other people, really, it tells you that band's doing something right.
In a sense, yeah.
So,
it definitely does.
Yeah, and ears come before eyes with music. Listen to the music. If you don't like it, then don't listen to the music.
Definitely.
Those dudes are, some of the nicest dudes I've met touring. So it's like, just because you don't like the music doesn't mean you have to attack them personally, or anybody for that matter. But
yeah, definitely a good message, and not just with bands, but just anything in general, for sure. And so, what are your plans right after this tour?
We're actually going to Europe with Beartooth. Doing some dates with them. We're doing Slam Dunk Festival. Super excited for. And then a couple of headlining dates for us. And then I think we're going to start writing, working on new material. I'm actually getting ready to finish up my book that I've been working on forever. It's going to come packaged with some songs.
Very cool.
Yeah, very excited to finally get that done.
Sounds good.
We're on the move.
Yeah.
We don't go home anymore, so.
Well, you have a lot in the works. Very exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for hanging out. Has been really awesome talking to you. And everybody watching, make sure you grab their album, Hold On Pain Ends. Subscribe for more interviews, and I'll catch you later.
Thanks.
Bye.